lord! Nefarious necromancy! What horrific hocus-pocus summons these cadaverous creations back to loathsome life?
Rebellion may have made a name for itself with the realistic ballistics and gruesome testicle-popping kills of the Sniper Elite series, but with the zanier co-op shooter Strange Brigade, it feels like the Oxford-based developer has found its over-the-top, tea-swilling, alliteration-obsessed voice.
Horror from ancient times, awoken and set loose upon the world. Fear not, though. The Strange Brigade are on the case.
Hailing from the secret arm of the Department of Antiquities, Strange Brigade's 4 playable characters feel ripped from the pages of a 1930s pulp novella. An accident at a North African dig site sets the story up, and as is often the way with video games, you'll resolve it by shooting lots and lots of undead. It's all very hackneyed and camp, and there's not much more than that to the story. The few cinematics take the form of pre-mission vignettes, styled after old-school movie teasers and complete with a delightfully over-the-top narrator.
Time to call on the services of the Strange Brigade!
Strange Brigade's varied set of labyrinthine crypts and forgotten, overgrown cities are explorable solo, or in 4-player co-op. Unlike in many co-op games, playing alone is just that. There are no AI teammates to help or hinder you, and this gives you time to take in the expansive vistas and intricate theming of the levels. The action really comes alive with friends, however. The levels change depending on how many players you have in your party, with more enemies to fight and reworked puzzles to solve. There's an element of competition as well, in that you'll want to be the first to grab the spoils from the numerous gold-packed chests. The booty isn't shared, so it's first come, first served. Your own personal arsenal, on the other hand, is shared amongst any character you play as, so you'll never have to worry about switching away from your favourite to use a particular weapon. Likewise, movement and basic abilities feel similar, but each character also has 4 unique amulet powers to unlock that give them personality. These range from AoE explosions to, turning enemies into chickens. Some feel more useful than others. Gracie's auto-targeting Tot's angry automaton turret is a must-pick. Strange Brigade's levels are interconnected, trap-filled, arena-style combat encounters against waves of increasingly difficult enemies. It's immensely satisfying to lure a mob of shambling corpses into danger and watch as they're quickly dispatched by a giant swinging log. Default weapons are purchasable in between levels with gold, and can be customized with collectible mystical gems. By the end of my 12 or so hours with the campaign, I'd managed to turn my run-of-the-mill rifle into a quick-firing, life-stealing, armor-piercing instrument of death that also froze enemies solid. Pumping round after round into basic enemies never gets old either, thanks to big, larger-than-life sound effects and animations. Unfortunately, it's in boss fights that the shortcomings of Strange Brigade's gunplay become clear. Like most modern action games, aiming snaps to the closest enemy, but unlike something like Call of Duty, this lasts for what feels like a nanosecond before drifting away. Hitting traps and some bosses' weak points requires pixel-perfect accuracy, which becomes a trial of patience and luck rather than skill. Plus, you may also find yourself with the wrong loadout for the situation through no real fault of your own. Instead of a conventional XP progression system, each of the campaign's 9 levels have locked treasure rooms that require you to complete some light puzzling to enter. Inside, you'll find part of a set of relics that, when completed, rewards you with a skill point. Linking collectibles and powers is an interesting idea that ties into the mystical nature of Strange Brigade, but the varying quality of the unlockable powers makes tracking down hard-to-find relics feel like a chore. The thing that pulled me through the campaign and had me tackling the extra horde and score attack modes, though, is its sense of style. This is thanks mostly to the Charismatic Narrator, whose extravagant commentary had me loudly guffawing in places.
Who lights all these candles, eh? That's what I want to know.
Pausing prompts him to dryly ask for tea, 2 sugars, and his unexplained hatred for cats becomes a running joke.
I had a cat once. Once.
The playable characters' one-liners are similarly fun and silly, and help to keep the mood light.
Look lively, Gracie lass. You're about to meet your first ancient Egyptians.
The charm of Strange Brigade's 1930s world, the wonderfully exaggerated English alliteration of its narrator, and solid level design, combat encounters, and 4-player co-op make it a strong, stylish third-person shooter. It needs to work on its aim and making its boss fights less of a hassle, but hopefully this isn't the last time a situation calls for the expertise of the Strange Brigade. For more on Strange Brigade, check out the first 15 minutes of gameplay. And if you're looking for another game to team up in, you can check out our reviews of Warhammer Vermintide 2, Overcooked 2, and yes, Stardew Valley. And for everything else, stick with IGN.